Clarissa, obviously, it's a challenging time for many in the United States right now, with the death of George Floyd sparking a lot of outrage in the streets, and also sparking some outrage here back home with the similarities between Aboriginal deaths in custody. How have you interpreted what's unfolding over there right now, and what have you made of it all?
I think it's great that the whole United States and other countries are protesting with us about what happened to George Floyd and what happened to many other African Americans who have been treated by, police brutality. I think that's a great thing. I think that that change is coming, and that I'm not for the rioting and the looting, but definitely I'm for the protesting and getting your word across, and the whole United States standing together, to make sure that everybody in this world is treated equally by everybody, not just police, but by everybody. So I think it's a great deal.
Do you draw some strength from this when you see people galvanizing, coming together? Does that give you strength when you go in the ring, that you'll fight for what's right?
Well, yeah, of course. I love African American. I love, of course, because I'm black, but also too, like, just love like the whole togetherness of like brotherhood and sisterhood. I love when people from all different, shades of the world can come together. So definitely, drawing some energy from that, but definitely, the same thing as my, counterparts can too.
Yeah. So what have you been doing these past few months with the COVID and all that sort of thing? Have you been training as normal, or has it been all messed up?
No, I haven't been going. I haven't been going extremely hard. I mean, I was, but I go hard for a week, take off for a week, or go hard for a couple of days and take off a day or two. I really haven't been like being like super consistent because I don't know when I'm going to fight again. I don't want to get burnt out, because when I do have to put in a hard 6 weeks, it's 6 weeks nonstop. So I walked 6 miles in the last 2 days, kind of walk, jog, or whatever, and just keeping fit really, and training other people. That's all I've been doing. Today I got to do a live thing with Larry Holmes, Jerry Cooney, Omar Miller, Ryan Garcia, Mauricio Suleiman, and myself, and we all talked about just what's going on in America today. So we're doing many interviews and stuff like that, and watching myself lose on the Titans games too, pretty pretty different. But I've had a good quarantine.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Obviously, right now, there's a lot of stuff happening, obviously in America right now and that. Have you got any word from your promoters or anyone that when you might be fighting next?
It's supposed to be middle of August, but now here it's middle of September.
Yeah, so September on Showtime?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit how you got into boxing, because you started boxing at the age of 11, right, didn't you?
Yeah, I started at the age of 11. And I was inspired by my dad. My dad's the one who sparked my interest, and I kind of started boxing just to make him happy more than anything. I didn't know that boxing would take me as far as it has taken me till I started doing it.
Fantastic. Did you have any other sports when you were growing up, from like around about 5 through to 11? Did you play any other sports?
No. I mean, I ran track. Maybe I was probably like 8, and I did karate.
What's your thoughts? I think you were quite vocal recently about women's boxing going to 3-minute rounds. Is that something you'd like to push for?
It's not something that I would like to push for. It's something that I am going to push for. I think that, 10 3-minute rounds is just the first start of getting us to 12 3-minute rounds, because I think that it's just deserved. I think that if women's boxing are ever going to be treated equal and be on the same level as the men, it has to happen. So it's not something that I'm like, oh, I'm just going to ask for it and hopefully, they do it. It's like, this is something to help move the whole sport forward, so they won't always try to have an excuse to why they don't pay us. Women don't make as much, nowhere near as the men. To me, that's just like, we need to fix that.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit last time, because we did your promo song for this podcast with obviously V's Run the World Girls. Tell us a little bit how that came about when you entered the ring against Habazan, walking out doing that dance. Was that purely your idea, or because it was funny?
Yeah,
I was chatting I knew a couple of people that were at that fight, and they thought it was unbelievable. I thought it was just...
Yeah, I think, it was my idea. I came up with the day before the weigh-in, and just let my mind wander, and, while I'm losing weight. And then I was thinking of, like, how can I go to the ring to where they know, like, fighting to become a 3-time division world champion faster than any other boxer in history. To me, I think like that helped me have a great performance because I'm like, I'm not fighting just for myself, but for women in general. So I really had a great time doing that.
I thought it was absolutely fantastic. What did the guys think? Because you had Andre back there. I think Bud was back there. Shakur was back there. What they all think of it? Because they walked you out, right? But they sort of, hang on a minute, let's step back, let Clarissa do a thing.
They didn't know, but I did tell them like, hey y'all, we're not gonna start walking to I do my so I do my dance, and they was like, all right, but they didn't know what like they had no idea until once it came up, me and my mentor got set up, and once the music started, we just like boom right into it. And they were like, what the heck? Like I remember I was watching the film and I seen Shakur look at me from behind me like, what the hell?
It was awesome. It was good. And that's something,
Yeah.
Jay and I speak about this a lot on the podcast. We talk about that showmanship a lot and showwomanship, about what that's a part of boxing. I think it's something that we need to bring back to boxing.
Yeah, definitely. I think that it's a good thing to bring back. I think that women too need to come out their shells. Everybody wants to be like everybody want to be like so sheltered. Want to be like, oh, be a lady and be like this, but it's like, no, be yourself, do what you want, But I think that I'm just truly okay with who I am and how. That's why I do the things that I do.
Is there a moment that you're most proud of in your career so far?
I'm all of them. I'm proud that I stayed amateur after winning my first Olympic gold medal. I'm proud that I never got discouraged and I'm proud that I've been able to deal with the, controversy and everything with me being a professional boxer and being a woman and being outspoken. I'm just glad that I continue to want more and to be hungry and to not only push myself but push for other women fighters. So I'm happy that I could be a part of that whole thing.
A lot of talk over there around Laila Ali and, a potential fight with you and her.
Let's just let that die because she's not serious.
She's not, is she?
My name for clout. Yep, yeah. And I'm not even gonna give her that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how easy it is to me. If you don't like me right and you want to fight me right, all you have to do is say, okay, you want to fight, and we make a deal. She's the biggest women fighters known, right? People have not ever made money off of because the only women that ever fought on pay-per-view was Jackie Frazier and Laila Ali. And that fight only did 100,000 pay-per-view buys. So that's what they judged off of. Like, oh, if the greatest daughter can only do 100,000 pay-per-view buys, how many buys can these other women do? And they haven't given us a chance since.
To be fair, like when you saw each other at the ESPYs, you've never disrespected her. You've never started anything. It was more her coming at you, I felt.
No, and that's correct. Like, it started from her a couple years ago in the Braekhus Club. And I even said, then I'm like, look, I don't want to fight her because, she's retired. But if somebody calls me out and says they can knock me out and they'll beat me, it's like, what am I supposed to say back? Like, if you scared of her and feel like she can do those things, you don't say nothing back. But when you know that you unfuckwittable, that you cannot be beat, you're the greatest woman of all time, then you gotta always stand your ground. So it was like, she thinks she is, So I responded off of that, but she had my number. She could have texted me. She knew how to get in contact with me various ways, and she didn't because she's always felt threatened by me.
Is there any names you want to call out, or any names you want to take on in the next few years?
I would love to whoop Raquel Miller ass again because, as everybody know, I beat her 3 times in the amateurs. She goes around yelling that I'm scared of her and that I really didn't beat her in the amateurs and that I was the favorite and all this bull crap. She go around yelling, and it is more of like with her, I could have been got a fight made with her. We've already sent her 2 contracts that she turned down, but now that she's hollering, I could have been said, you know what, team, let's go and fight Raquel Miller. But I'm in the stage of women's boxing to where I'm like, no freebies. Christina Hammer being another one. If Hannah Gabriels win, I'll fight against Hannah Gabriels again. Yeah, so I did fight against her again in the rematch. And if Raquel Miller lose, like, she just probably never get the chance to fight me unless she really worked her way up the rankings because she's she's actually bad for the sport of women's boxing. Yeah, people don't know her personally, but she's a shitty person. She's very negative and she's a liar. She's lied to me. I know me, and I'm not gonna go to jail on account of beating up outside the ring. I definitely love to beat her head in, but she gotta earn it. And her coach know how I am too. He know how I'm cut. He's one of my Olympic coaches. And I just want to let, him know. 2017, he told me, Raquel Miller, she not ready for you. Give her 3 years, and then we'll be ready. He said that to me, and she was talking stuff back then. So it was like, tell her the truth and tell her that you felt she wasn't ready, and she not ever going to be ready for me. Don't make it seem like I'm scared to fight against Raquel Miller, and I already done beat this girl 3 times, and one time I beat her, I had the flu. Come on now.
Moving forward, Clarissa, what weight do you want to stay at? Because now that you're the fastest boxer in the history in 3 different weight classes, 168, 160, 154, it's never been done by men or women. Well, as you continue to go on in your career, my personal opinion, it's 160. What do you think?
I can do 160. My reason for going down to 154 and 160 was because when I was 168, all these girls were like trying to say like, oh, I will fight Claressa, but she can't make this weight and she's fat and she can't, so that was kind of pissing me off because really I am a natural 160 pounder. I fought both Olympics at 160 pounds. Yep. And I fought, it was 165 and I fought 165 throughout the majority of my career. When I was hearing those things, people was calling me fat, even though I had a full 6-pack and I was just muscular. To hear everybody talking about, oh, she's fat and she can't make 160 and she can't make 154. That's why I even took this journey to come down to, to 160 and 154. But now that I'm at 154, I was hoping to get a fight with Cecilia Braekhus. And I think that fight isn't going to happen because she's scared of me. That's just the truth about it. She's scared of me. She got 110 excuses. She say, she's not really a 147 pounder, but she got all 5 belts at 147. And then says I'm just too big and I'm too strong for her, and she's not going to fight me unless, we fight at 150 or I come all the way down to 147. And I'm not going to do either. I'm not going to 147 because I've already come down to 168. I'm not, and if she can't meet me at 154, then we're just going to show in history that, she was scared. And after all that talk that she does, she's really not about that life. Like, I came 3 weight classes down looking for you. And now you're running to fight against a 135 pounder in Katie Taylor.
What do you think of Katie Taylor, Clarissa?
Oh, I think very highly of Katie Taylor and very highly of Amanda Serrano. I think they both have their own secrets to their success. I think Katie has great hand speed, great power. She's quick on her feet. I think Amanda Serrano definitely got a lot of punching power. Great boxing, very calm and experienced fighter. Ferocious, as in Amanda. So I like both of those girls. Look, I'm not afraid to give no girl their props. And, and as you give somebody props, you can give them shit too. And you can say, oh, I think you do this good and I think you do this bad. And I think that people have, heard me speak of Katie Taylor defense sometime, and that's not a knock to her. That's something that, when I say it, I'm saying it as in constructive criticism, and I'm a fan of her. So when people try to make it seem like, I'm like I'm out to get all the women fighters, and really I'm the biggest women's advocate that we have on social media, or rather I'm just watching the fight and doing round by round, or rather I'm showing up. Like, I've shown up to maybe 3 or 4 of Katie Taylor fights to, give her support and just be there for her, yelling for her in the crowd and stuff. So showing that we're united. Like, I'm not against Katie. I'm not against Amanda. I'm not against Franchon Cruz. I'm not against no woman champion. If you can give somebody praise, you can give them also constructive criticism. Let them know, I think you should do this and fix that and here. But it's not no knock to them. It's just like me really trying to help the whole sport as one. And, hopefully they listen and they can fix some things. Well, but I think Katie is a hell of a fighter.
I'll tell you one thing. If I had Claressa Shields, the fastest ever in history and 3-division world champ, giving me advice, I'd be listening to it. So every girl out there want to be listening to you when you tell them their props.
I hope so.
Well, the writing's on the wall. Yeah, no worries. When are you and Alvino ever going to come down to Australia? I remember talking to you in New York for the Hogan-Charlo fight. I was talking more to Alvino, to be honest, but have you got any? Because I know you were over in London and Europe back in February this year, and you were there with Floyd and whatnot. You got any plans to come down our neck of the woods?
I don't know. I have some business down there, and I get flew over there. I'll definitely come to Australia. I got friends over there.
Yeah, fantastic. We'd love to have you here, Joe.
Yeah, for sure. When your career's all said and done, what do you hope your legacy will be?
I just hope that when my careers are done, that people see that women fighters are literally women who love to fight. I think that this sport sometimes puts a box on women and how we should act and how we should talk and make it seem like we're just in boxing because we want to be like the men. In all reality, we are just women who love to fight and want to make a career out of fighting. And we all are different. You got your A+ fighters like myself. You got your B+, your C+, and your D+ fighters. And all those fighters make great fights for each other. And I think that women also, I just want to be able to say, like, I opened the door to where women knew that they could be outspoken, they could be be who they are, and still have a great fan base, still make a lot of money, and not have to be stuck in this box of, oh, women boxers only show up in bikinis to weigh-ins, and they only talk politely to each other, and they don't talk trash, and they be ladies. I hope that at the end of the day, like, I'll be known as the greatest one of all time, but also as a trailblazer who opened the door for many different kind of women, to where you get all these different kind of women that you see, and they're all just great fighters, and they're great for the sport. Just equality.